Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Ma'am Rabia here and welcome you all in your Pakistani studies class. I hope you are all fine and taking good care of yourself. Today we will continue our chapter number 4, History of Pakistan. This is our lecture number 10. Before starting this lecture, open your book page number 118 and mark the important points side by side on your book. That will help you a lot. Today we will cover 3 topics from chapter number 4. Topic 1 is Economic Development, Second and Third 5-Year Plan 1960 to 1970. Second topic is Land Reforms. Third topic is Yahya Khan's regime 1969 to 1971. Learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, students, you will be able to describe targets and achievements of second and third 5-year plan 1960 to 1970. You will be able to describe land reforms introduced by General Ayub Khan, and you will be able to describe key aspects of Yahya Khan's regime 1969 to 1971. Before starting our today's lesson, here we have a quick recap of previous lesson. That was Indo-Pak War 1965. India committed an open aggression against Pakistan to materialize its expansionist intentions and attacked Pakistan on the night of 6 September. Although Pakistan had far less military and economic resources as compared to those of India, yet the armed forces of Pakistan, filled with the spirit of jihad, forced an enemy many times bigger than it to face a humiliating defeat. This war was lasted for 17 days. We discussed about causes, events and effects of war, and we learned about how this war created unity and solidarity among Pakistani people. First topic of our today's lesson is economic development, second and third 5-year plan 1960 to 1970. It is very important to know about what is economic development. The growth of an economy from backward to advanced economy is known as economic development. It is a process through which such changes are introduced in economy by adopting and utilizing modern, advanced capital and human resources as increase the income of country. The living standard of people rises. The masses enjoy better opportunities of education, health, employment and recreation. Muhammad Sheikh, an economist of World Bank, was appointed finance minister in martial law government of Ayub Khan. He controlled imports and exports effectively. He encouraged exports in national trade that caused much savings in foreign exchange. Licenses were issued for industrial development and new industries were established. This step brought prosperity in country. During this regime, second and third 5-year plans were prepared. Second 5-year plan 1960 to 1965. With the termination of first 5-year plan 1955 to 1960, second 5-year plan was prepared. I will tell you about targets of second 5-year plan. To attain an increase in national income by 24%, to achieve an increase of about 10% in per capita income, to provide the opportunities of employment to 2.5 million people, to get an increase of 14% in agricultural output, to increase industrial production up to 14% in large scale as well as medium scale industries, to increase the industrial production of cottage and small scale industries up to 24%, to increase exports at the rate of 3% annual increase. It was estimated that rupees 23 billion were needed to achieve the objectives and targets of second five-year plan. It was estimated that rupees 12.4 billion would be spent on public sector, rupees 3.8 billion on semi-public sector, and rupees 6.8 billion on private sector. Under this plan, the pace of economic growth of country remained quite satisfactory. In some sectors, higher growth rate was witnessed as compared to estimated rate. Now I will tell you about achievements of second five-year plan. National gross income exceeded even beyond 30%. Exports were increased at the rate of 7%. In industrial sector, more than 40% growth was recorded. In agricultural sector, more than 15% growth was recorded. Second five-year plan occupies a special importance in economic planning of country because while preparing this plan, the drawbacks of first five-year plan was taken into account. So the drawbacks were rectified and special care was taken in the evaluation of national resources. The success of this plan proved a source of encouragement. It helped a lot in the future planning. Now we will discuss about third five-year plan 1965 to 1970. First, I will tell you about targets of third five-year plan. To enhance the pace of national development and to increase gross domestic product as much as 37%, to increase per capita income at the rate of 20%, to provide employment to 5.5 million people, to increase agricultural growth at the rate of 5%, to increase the industrial growth at the rate of 13%, to prefer to establishment of basic industries, to bring stability in balance of payment by increasing the foreign exchange, to make efforts to improve the basic facilities and to provide social security. A total amount of rupees 52 billion was reserved to achieve these targets. Rupees 30 billion were allocated for public sector, while rupees 22 billion were reserved for private sector. Third five-year plan could not succeed fully. An increase of 9.5% was expected in export, but only 7% increase could be possible. The pace of growth in agriculture remained lower than the expected pace. The target fixed was 4.5%. In industrial sector, the target fixed was 13%, but only 9% increase could be made possible. It could not reach its prefixed targets. In fact, third five-year plan was enveloped by unfavorable circumstances from the very beginning. A severe drought was experienced during the first 2 years. It affected crops badly. Defense expenditures increased because of Indo-Pak War 1965. It caused reduction in proposed resources for development expenditure. A decrease of 27% was also noted in foreign aid. Agricultural output decreased too. State of Internal Affairs was overruled by insurgents and cohas. It had a negative effect on industrial production. In short, this plan could not find favorable circumstances needed for this program of economic development. This table is showing you the rate of growth percent in industrial and agricultural sector 1968 to 1969. During this period, large-scale industries flourished, while the rate of growth of small-scale industries remained either stagnant or below the desired growth. The agricultural sector continued to suffer fluctuations continuously. Second topic is land reforms by Ayub Khan. For land reforms, Ayub Khan set up a commission in 1959. This land reforms commission was headed by Akhtar Hussain, governor of West Pakistan. In the light of recommendations made by this commission, land reforms were announced. No person was to own more than 500 acres of irrigated or 1,000 acres of non-irrigated land. In case of garden or meadows, the landlord was given the right to own 150 acres more land. The landlords were given the right to transfer their excess land to the women of their families and orphan children. However, the transfer land would be exceed the limit of 250 acres of irrigated and 500 acres of non-irrigated land. Present landlord would hand over the excess land to the government. The landlords would be compensated of their snatched land within 25 years in installments. The Jagirs were confiscated without any compensation. However, Jagirs dedicated to educational, religious, or charitable institutions were exempted. The excess land was redistributed among tenants already cultivating the land. They were declared the owners of land. Other tenants and landless farmers were given the right to purchase land from the government on easy installments. The tenants were given legal protection against their ejection from land. It was declared unlawful to charge any illegal fee, late labor, or any other service from the tenants. To increase the rate of ijara mean share of landlord, was also banned. On the recommendation of Land Commission, steps were taken to consolidate the fragmented small holdings. Consolidation of fragmented agricultural land holdings continued for many years. According to a statement of Ayub Khan, about 9 million acres of land were consolidated. Third topic is Yahya Khan's regime 1969 to 1971. President General Muhammad Ayub Khan ruled almost 10 years. Many reforms were implemented during his government. The country made much progress in the field of industry. According to Constitution, all the powers rested with President of Islamic Republic of Pakistan. People launched an aggressive movement against the rule of General Muhammad Ayub Khan, and situation seems to be running out of his control. Keeping in view the situation, martial law was once more imposed in country. General Muhammad Yahya Khan became Chief Martial Law Administrator and President of Pakistan. Legal Framework Order. LFO 1970. General Muhammad Yahya Khan, the President of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, announced a legal framework order to hold general elections in 1970. We will discuss about salient features of legal framework order. The National Assembly would be elected for a tenure of 5 years. It would be composed of 300 seats. The minimum age for election to Assembly and voters would be 25 years for men and 21 years for women respectively. A person would have the right to contest election on more than one seat. 5th October 1970 and 22nd October 1970 were fixed for the elections of National Assembly and Provincial Assemblies respectively. Federal system of government would be introduced in country and citizens would enjoy all fundamental rights. According to Constitution, the powers would be distributed and provincial autonomy would be fully protected. The independence and freedom of judiciary would be fully honored. The judiciary would safeguard of fundamental rights of people. The decisions of courts would be binding on center as well as provinces. Islamic ideology would be practiced and only a Muslim could become the head of state. National Assembly would decide all the issues with simple majority vote and quorum would consist of 100 members. The members of Assembly would enjoy complete freedom of expression. No legal action would be taken against members of assemblies on anything expressed in assemblies. Pakistan would be a democratic country and complete name of country would be Islamic Republic of Pakistan. National security would be protected and no such thing will be allowed as could cause damage to the national security. Some future strategies also set up. Promotion of Islamic ways of living. To practice the moral teachings of Islam. To take steps to promote Islamic principles in country. To make arrangements to provide the education of Quran and Islamiyat to the Muslims. I hope you listen this lesson very carefully and this is your home task now. Read page 118 to 123 of your textbook and answer the following questions. What were the targets of second 5-year plan? What do you mean by economic development? Write 5 targets of third 5-year development plan. What are the points for future policies described in legal framework order? These are instructions for your written task. You will do your work on your notebooks. Follow all these instructions and make your work very presentable. Resource for Zoom session. I will use slides to make you more understand about this lesson. This is all from my side. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.